Greetings everyone, welcome. Make sure before we start, if you're new to this channel and you're interested in IT stuff, make sure to subscribe, like, comment. If you face any problem also, or if you have any suggestions, make sure to comment it below. So in this video we're going to discuss about how to apply some basic security things on Slackware. We're continuing with Slackware. Security is quite important. You need to make sure it's applied correctly on your computers, on your machines, on your gadgets. It's not only by preventing the unauthorized people or the people that are unwanted to access your devices from accessing it, but it's also by applying some security stuff. So whenever someone that thinks he can access your stuff, he will once he tries to access it, he will not be able to do it. So for Slackware, I was wondering about the security policies or the things that the users can apply on their Slackware computers. And I found this wiki page from the official Slackware repository, and here I am SSH. Here I established an SSH connection to my Slackware computer. So here it says that you need to use strong passwords. Okay, so for changing or doing or making a password for the user, you can type here I'm using the root user. It's the root. Make sure you are using the root, otherwise you need to type sudo. If you want to change the password of any user, just type as root. With you, if you are a root user, you type directly passwd, or if you're not, just type sudo passwd. If it did not work with sudo, just change to the root user. So type passwd and then the name of the user that you want to change the password to. After that, you will get a prompt to input the new password, and then the confirmation, and then you will be able to get the new, or your new password is gonna be updated. Okay. Afterwards, they tell that you need to disable the unused services. For the service stuff on Slackware, you need to understand that it doesn't use systemd by default. Most of the distributions use systemd. Systemd is almost like is used by almost 70 or 80% of the distributions. However, on Slackware you don't use systemd. It uses something like sys5init. If it's said like that, it's written sysvinit, but I guess some people say it's system5init. Alright, so if you want to know which services, here it says that you need to disable the unused services. If you want to know what are the services on your computer, you can type ls and then -al. The enabled services on Slackware are those that are put executable in the folder /etc/rc.d. So here we have the services that are enabled, those ones that are in green, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. So here, read, write, execute. Read, write, execute. First one is for the owner, second one for the group of the owner. No, here this one is for D. The first one here it's for D, which means if it's a folder. And then these three ones are for the owner of the file, here for the group of the owner, and here for the rest. So all of them have X, which means that it's enabled. Any service that's enabled on Slackware, it's gonna be executable. Okay. So here we have multiple things that we can enable, we can disable, depending on our needs. So here they recommend us not to enable the services that we don't need. Okay. Some of them are needed. If you want to disable, for example, Bluetooth, you can just make this. You can run this command chmod a-x and then rc.bluetooth. Let's check what exactly we can disable here. uh, LXC. Let's try to enable LXC. Let's clear this. Chmod a plus x at c rc.d and then rc.lxc. LXC is for Linux containers. Oh, not a plus c, a plus x, sorry. LXC is for Linux containers. So this one is enabled. This service is enabled, okay? We need to, if we want to make sure that, or if we want to run it, we should just type at c rc.d slash rc.lxc start. Okay, so clear this. And then if we want to disable it, we just type this. Okay, now it's disabled. Let's enable it again, and I'm going to show you how it's going to look when it's enabled in the list of all the services. After we enabled it, it's supposed to be, yes, it's here. Now it can be executable, which means we need to log out and log in again to be able to run it, or we can type the same command of starting it. If we want to stop it, we just type this command /etc rc.d /rc. the service name and stop. And then if we want to disable it, we just type this command -x chmod a -x /etc rc.d /rc.lxc. Okay. LXC exists on almost any distribution. As long as we have it on Slackware, you can believe that it exists on any distributions, and it's quite good. It's kind of similar to Docker. However, there is some differences between it and Docker itself. All right. So the second thing that they say here is to set up a firewall. It says here on Slackware, the easiest way to do this is by using Alien Bob's adaptation of the easy firewall generator. Just generate the firewall, copy the output to /etc /rc.d /rc.firewall and make it executable. Other options include GUI firewall generation programs such as Firewall Builder. This link doesn't work. I tried it before, it doesn't work. Alright, so let's try to generate a firewall. I already opened it here, or it's the same here. So we go here, we select our internet interface. We can do it by typing ifconfig. In my case it's WLAN2. For you, you check if you're using wired connection, you take this one at 0. If you have another name, you can find it here and take it. So in my case, I type WLAN2, and then this one static internet IP address. You can read the help. Yes, just the basic meaning of static and dynamic IP address. In my case, it's dynamic. Most of the people use dynamic one. So you automatically keep it the way it is. I guess it's the same thing. This one you need to decide whether it's single system or private network gateway. You can read the help. So we are not the gateway. The gateway is in our case is the router. And then this one you can read if you want to enable it or not. In my case, I guess I'm not gonna enable it. It says here this option should be used with care, and any exposed service needs to be kept patched and configured properly. When this option is selected, a list of services will be displayed the next time Yes, like that. And then this one you can read it, and then like that. I guess we don't need to change anything except the internet interface. On your computer you check whichever it is and click generate firewall. Okay, it's a script. First of all, we go back here, we come here, we change directory there, and then touch, we make our service for the firewall. It's like that, call it. Yes, rc.firewall, firewall. Enter. And then with your text editor, whichever it is, in my case I'm gonna simply use Nano. You open the file and you copy all of this. You can select it all and then paste it here. You call it rules for Mangle table. Alright, Control X, Y to save the file. Afterwards, we make it executable. The same command, but this time for firewall and A plus X. Enter. And then we start it. I don't know if the SSH connection is gonna be cut or not. I don't know also if how to enable it, but let's switch it's not cut. Does it still work, ls? Yes, it's working. So this means that the SSH connection is not cut. Alright, another thing that they recommend to do here is to disable the X listening, because you are able to establish a remote desktop using X. Okay, so you need to change. Just type. Let's fix it from this user, and then go to this file, make this file. It's a new file, copy this and paste it here. Control X, Y, enter. That's it. It disables listening from the port 6000, because Org server listens to the port 6000 for remote connections. I'm sorry for the tongue twisting, it keeps happening. Okay, I hope it's clear. I guess that's everything we can do for the basic security. You make sure your password is quite strong. For me, I don't need to change it, it's quite fine, I guess. I told you how you can do it. We disable the unused services, we talked about that as well. You set up a firewall. I told you how to do that also. And then you disable X listening from TCP protocol to make sure that it's that port is closed or something. You can disable it the way they recommend it. Okay, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. See you.